Good morning, Honorable Vice Governor Basuki. It's a great pleasure and honor to the traffic problems in Jakarta. Let me briefly present my delegation. Of course, we have the sales manager, Mr. Göran Andersson, that you have also met several times before, from the headquarters, Kapsch, Sweden, and Mr. Martin Löving, who is Managing Director, Kapsch, Singapore, Managing Director for Southeast Asia. And Mr. Johan Ahlberg, who is Sales Director for Southeast Asia, Kapsch, Singapore. Mr. is that we would like to explain clearly the differences between the technologies for the ERP that Kapsch can offer. Kapsch can offer all technologies that you are interested in, but we would take this opportunity to explain the differences so that you get the best and what you want. So with this, I would like to hand over to Mr. Göran Andersson. Please, Göran.
Good morning, everybody. And thank you for arranging this meeting for us. What is important for us, of course, is to go into the business cases in different technologies and show both on the financial aspect and also the technical aspect and also the risk aspect. What is the difference between the different technologies? For your information, we have all systems in-house, and therefore I think it's important for us to really clarify what is the difference between advantages and disadvantages. So Martin Löving will explain in detail how the different systems are working and the differences. So Martin, please.
Yeah, thank you again for hosting us. Just to open up, if you have any questions in Bahasa, we have Mr. Andreas that can help you. He will translate to me in English and we can take any questions. Also, if you want translation to anything I've said, then Andreas can really help us. Okay, we know that there have been discussions within the KI about different solutions, different technologies. To our understanding, the main two solutions that are being considered are microwave-based, so much like the existing system in Singapore. So we're taking the opportunity to describe the difference between these two solutions. All these solutions will meet your needs, that we are confident in terms of technical capacity. But there are, from our point of view, from a deployment point of view, installation point of view, there are three things that we want to highlight. It's the implementation time schedule and there is the risk during implementation. Because the different solutions have different costs and different risks. And I will describe the difference and I will describe the different solutions in terms of technology capacity.
because some of the banks want to offer to us this is the investigation bidding. They invest themselves, we just pay them like a fee, they are doing many money. That's why we want to make the decision. Offer to us what kind of technology. We want to make the leapfrog for the technology. So why we have to follow the many disadvantages of the system. So if Singapore do the new one, the latest technology, why we don't choose the latest? We will have to make a leapfrog with this technology. So that's why we need the team to discuss it. I just what's
We would like to offer you the best in the region and in the world. Singapore has yes, exactly.
we could directly purchase. But for this system, we could not put this in e-category. So that's why we have to write a bidding process. We write the bus, it's easy when you have a unit. We send a letter from the authorized director to the, or we have like the institution for a bidding. We put in e-category, we could directly purchase. Very easy for buying to purchase the bus for next year. But for this, it is not a problem.
Okay. On this first page, you see the onboard unit. This onboard unit is a microwave onboard unit. Looks like this one. I will point you out. There you have it. What I didn't bring is we also have a GPS onboard unit. It's actually real size. It's bigger. I will not hold my phone now, but it's much like a mobile phone. It has GPS, it has mobile phone SIM card inside. It also has the technical content of one of these microwave onboard units. So you can actually say it is everything you have in a mobile phone in terms of technology, just to give you a flavor of the technology itself. The cost of these different systems, and I will explain to you the different costs and why they are so big differences. Look at the business case or the cost of a system. The onboard unit is the biggest cost for a GPS-based system because all the technology is inside the vehicle. The total cost for deployment of, we have taken the figure 8 million vehicles, would be 16 trillion rupiah. That's just for the onboard unit. For the source-based system, which is a much less complex onboard unit, the same figure is 1.2 trillion. The source system is what we put on the road to capture people that don't pay. For both systems, you will for both systems you need that type of system. If you begin with the GPS-based system, you will need both galleries on the road to take pictures of the vehicles that don't have the onboard units, that don't pay, as well as vehicles with antennas inside and cameras inside to be able to capture them on different locations every day. You will hard rate than for a GPS-based system. Our estimation, based on our understanding of your needs, is that system would cost about 1.5 trillion. Trillion rupiah. It's a back office or it's a payment system, a big database. You can see it as. It's actually a lot of data for every transaction you make. The difference between GPS and the source-based system is that for GPS-based systems, you need to manage 8 million onboard units in the field and communicate with them you need to keep track of them every minute. You need to have established communication with them most of the time. Of course, you need to be able to transfer software to 8 million onboard units if you need an update, which is a very complex procedure. So that's 1 billion rupiah. It's a big system. It's an enormous system. It's the biggest data center deployed in Indonesia ever, from our view. For a DSRC system, you need a subset of that system, about half of that system. You need the enforcement portion, the payment onboard units. You communicate with 200 gantries across Jakarta. So the complexity for communication goes down, and of course the complexity for the whole system is much less. That's the investment cost. The next step is, and as you see, the difference is between about 70 trillion and 3 trillion. So the DSRC system is about 5 times less expensive to invest in. But of course, it does not have the flexibility of the GPS system in deployment. It doesn't give you the functionalities to send messages to the users. But there is a trade-off between functionality and cost price. If you go into the operational phase, so when the system goes live, the biggest difference between these two systems, or there are two big differences between these two systems. The first one is communications cost. If you have basically a mobile phone in every vehicle, you need to have a SIM card and a data connection through the mobile network. This is, if you look at the world market, it's about $2 per month, which is the estimated figure here, about 16 billion rupiah per month. But I know that in Indonesia, currently that cost is about $5 a month. But of course, with this type of big system, that will go down. But say that it is at least 16 billion a month. It can be as much as 40 billion a month if the network operators don't lower their prices. For the DSRC system, what you need for that system is a fiber network. This is a rough estimate based on our experience globally. It's not based on the fiber networks available in Jakarta, because there are several suppliers for that. It's just it's 0.3 billion is our experience, but it's just for a fiber network. You don't need a big mobile operator for this system. If you look at the other operational costs, of course you have maintenance costs. It's roughly the same for both systems, so I didn't bring up the difference here. But the big cost difference will be in replacement of faulty units. So when your onboard unit breaks, the cost of replacing it is, you need to replace it, and they will break roughly with the same period. So for a GPS-based system, you will have about 16 times, or maybe a little bit less than 16 times more expensive for replacement of onboard units. Today, we have about 5 years warranty for the DSRC onboard unit, because it's a very less complex onboard unit, while the GPS-based onboard unit has a warranty of 1 to 2 years. So this is I think the big difference if we look at the costs of a system. If you have any questions?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, thank you. I just want to ask for the uplink and downlink cost, or just like a monthly SIM card something like that?
Yeah, this one is a monthly SIM card subscription. So
it's like a GSM something.
Yeah, GSM.
How about the precision? Because the GSM would be used for triangulation if the pole is not so many, the cell is not so dense, so the precision would be the problem or something. I think that
we're using the satellites for location. So we have, in general, if you look on where it's good reception with satellites, it's about 5 meters accuracy. That's in general for GPS-based systems.
So the best precision is plus minus is 5 meters.
Yes.
How about the grass? Because just this our cordon line, the screen line, the area. It's a technically. If 5 meters, if my car is just over there, not entrance, it's a become a problem or not? Because it is here, but you need charge something like that.
I would say it is a problem. You need to have, you need to be flexible. We call it charging policy. How you start pay people. You need to be very certain. So instead of having that line at the border, if you draw a map, it will be at the border, but you move the position maybe 20-30 meters east to the border to make it to higher positions.
So is it like use like a GLONASS something like a free satellite, or we have to pay for the satellite?
It's free. GLONASS GPS.
GLONASS GPS.
Yeah, we have a combined receiver.
How about if the blind spot there?
Yeah, that's you need. I think from a GPS,
the problem.
then you can have put up DSRC antenna at that location.
So this was.
Yeah, if you look, I can show you some position. This is 1,000 test drives in Singapore. We have 1,000 vehicles traveling along the same road. A GPS-based system. Oh, sorry, we started here, went down here, up, in here, up again, round, back. But it is impossible to tell where the vehicles went, because the inaccuracy of GPS in that location is just too much. So you need to be flexible. You need to design your payment system or your policies against the system that you want to deploy. So for this, maybe what you say is, yeah, we draw a big border around this high-rise area and say if you enter this area, you pay coverage. Because having maybe charging by the distance they drive inside this area, that is impossible.
So your suggestion is for applying this one. This means we just make a reconnaissance survey, the percentage survey first, check something like this, and then make the adjustment with the border.
Yes.
So no complaint after all.
Yeah. If you want to have a GPS-based system, you need to do that. Yes.
Discussing about GPS. This technology, have you ever implemented in any country at all for the GPS system?
Yes. Kapsch has deployed the system in France, but it's only for trucks. So it's not for. Okay, in the world there are no systems for cars. There are no systems for motorcycles. And that's for any supplier for this purpose. There are several suppliers, including Kapsch, that has deployed systems for trucks on highways. Yeah, totally. So if you come to the risks they go, the GPS-based system, if you choose a GPS-based system here, it will be the first system in the world for cars. It will be the first system in the world for motorcycles. And it will be the first system in the world in an urban environment. So in the city, it will be the first system in the city. So the risks are very high. And it will take us a very long time to deploy. But we come to that later on.
Okay, the next question, since GPS is using a SIM card, right?
Yeah.
In your experience, who pays for the monthly charges for the GPS SIM card?
It's in all systems that are currently in operation in Europe, it's always the government that pays.
Always the government?
Yes.
Pays. Okay. So the users, the owner of the car, doesn't have to pay for the GPRs?
No, not in the systems available today.
Okay.
So that's become a part of the operational cost.
Yes.
We need to increase the charge to cover that also. In the end, it's always the customer that pays.
And the problem is how to choose the provider. You choose another way, you choose that, why you choose that. And but that's another story. Next time, just the new model.
Yeah.
Because
It's also what you do is you introduce 8 million new SIM cards in a mobile network that is already overpopulated.
okay, about the communication, the satellite, you have to use the free satellite like the GLONASS. It's free, actually not basically belong to the US and one belong to Russia. There's two systems right now. What happened? They have a war there, so no communication, that's another problem. But it's free, right? It's safer, we have to pay. So we have to contract something like
Yeah,
that.
but there is no contracts available there. You can only go with GPS or
The only possibility is like that, they just put up the satellite to do the thing because it's free.
The only place where they have done this is in the Iraq war and Afghanistan war.
That's what I mean, they have a war, no satellite anymore, so no communication. Right?
Yeah, what they did there is they basically encrypted the signal. So all over Middle East, GPS stopped working because they only wanted to have it for the war.
Because I read that one, so I'm just wondering about that. I didn't want that, I was on Facebook.
What we see is in the European Union, they saw this as a big risk. So what they've done is they're deploying a new system in Europe now that will be worldwide. And then in a few years' time, there will be, you have the receiver, it will have GLONASS, it will have GPS, and it will have, what's the name? Galileo, which is the, and then you're...
Okay, thank you. And so what when I have a discussion with other things, so we know about that.
Okay. Okay. I'll go to the next. Back office deployment and enforcement system. If you begin with the overview, for GPS, there are currently low production capacities. Kapsch has produced 200,000 for the French market. A few other suppliers have produced as much as, I think, 500,000. But no one has ever produced 8 million, or even 2.5 if we just look at cars. Increased capacity in production building a new factory takes about 6 to 12 months before it's in operation for mass production. If you look at new capacity takes only 3 months to deploy, so that's basically adding another 100,000 a week in production. It's an easy process to start a local plant here in Indonesia, which we believe is necessary for the volumes that we're talking about. You can have initial functionality after 12 months. It will take 12 months because it's a complex system. But the full functionality will only be deployed after 24 months. It takes a very long time. For the SRC system, because the GPS-based system is unique for every country, and it's unique for every customer. We have the experience from France that that project was actually for 36 months before it was in full operation. For the SRC system, these systems from Kapsch and other suppliers, Kapsch alone supply about 3 back offices for the SRC monthly free-flow systems every year. And if we have a standard configuration, so no big changes, then it takes between, if you have initial functionality, so we can start charging after about 6 months. And then full functionality that it includes all the reporting functions and all the additional functionality that's required locally after about 12 months. But it will be the starter system, but all the internal functions will not be available from day one. And I think this, regardless who you talk to, it will be the same answer. Enforcement system. For GPS-based systems, use the same gantries as for the SRC system. Those can be deployed within 6 months because it's you don't need that many for a GPS-based system. The more mobile versions, so vehicles, handhelds, even if you maybe deploy them on motorcycles, these will take about 12 months to deploy because it will be unique for this project and you need integration with the police here in Jakarta. Or this is for GPS. For the SARS system, it's mainly the volumes. If we need to deploy 140 entries in central Jakarta, it's a big risk to do that in 6 months. We have a big deployment, but I can't commit to 140 in 6 months. So it's more having a staged approach and deciding which are the important roads, which are not less important. You need to make a decision where you want to deploy them and how you want to have it. Of course, mobile applications, vehicles and handhelds will take a longer time here as well.
Okay. You said here like a back office minimum like 6 months. Here is 12 months. Here the enforcement is a minimum 6 months and 6 months.
Yeah.
Why is it 6 months? Is there any possibilities? Any experience? You think that you can just less the time so become less than 6 months something like that? For this one, this is about the enforcement.
Yeah,
This is about the enforcement.
yeah.
Keep doing this so we can just increase the income in 5%. If we do recommend how many percent, but if the losses is not allowed, why take it's possible just 3 months, something like after your experience, minimum 6 months.
I think it's in general for all suppliers. You need to order the equipment. If you just take the components inside, which is special, everyone has specialized equipment. Just getting the components will take maybe 3 months. Just to get the components from China, and then you need to assemble it and deploy it. It's also, I think, one of the biggest risks here is actually, of course, TKI is responsible, but you need to plan where they should be. You need to get the permissions to dig. You need to get the fibers. You need to get the power. You need to get the foundations in place. So that is actually, it takes time. It's a mix of everything, I think. Just getting planning permissions and getting concrete in place, getting the gantries constructed.
It's very quick not in the system and the permission to forget what we can get because the authority is in the government. We have it.
Yeah.
Forget about it. And then it's possible.
We know from experience, South Africa, Poland, Czech Republic. It was the government that procured the system. It still took us 6 months to. We did Poland in 6 months, but I think the majority system was online. But there were some cases, maybe a neighbor complained, that neighbor might be a politician, so then it took some negotiations to get it in place. So there's always some discussions and negotiations.
And then I just want to another one. But the enforcement system, recently, I felt in the beginning, why GPS? No installation like for enforcement of field, because we have said like you go around there, you not pay by the system. I think this one, I think the philosophy is one easy to install, easy to use, easy for everything. Of course, if easy, expensive. There's a trade-off. But if still need something like this, maybe gantries, something like this, the same this one, the same as this one. So what's different? This one is expensive.
No, actually, for enforcement, there is no difference. Of course, you need less infrastructure for the GPS transition. If you look in France, maybe they have 40, 50 gantries in the whole of France.
Because the cost of the gantries also higher.
Yeah, they're expensive. Of course, they're expensive.
We need the fiber optic. I think between the GPS, we do need fiber optic. No communication. All wireless. Easy.
But,
like that.
But you, as a police, you will. Who should you stop? You don't know. You need a system
no
to tell
ID inside. You get there, or you get money, but still have ID. By the system, you know the car with your ID, unique number. You enter no money. I know the car. Send the letter to the something like that. In the beginning, something like that.
I think the easiest way to put this is if someone turns it off, that car doesn't pay. So you need either gantries or your vehicles or motorcycles or police that has a device to be able to say this guy hasn't paid. That's what we see in all the systems, actually it's in Europe. All of them have, we have delivered what we call mobile enforcement vehicles, so a police vehicle with antennas and cameras. We have delivered them in Austria, Czech Republic, Poland, Belarus, all of these countries, Switzerland, even in South Africa, but to be able to, for the police to be able to check.
So you use the internal power or use the batteries from the car?
Teknologi mana yang terbaik? Kalau namanya itu mesti keputusan dari dengar. Nanti kita harus keputusan. Seperti apa bidding contest atau bidding itu, kita mesti susun sesuai kualifikasi. Ya langsung kita implementasikan. Jadi kita tidak ingin lagi belajar kesalahan dari negara lain. Kita ada pengalaman kan? Kita pengen mencatat kotak aja udah. To leapfrog to the new latest, best technology. So we don't want to waste our time to follow the error, the failure of the system. We want now the latest technology. Because I have to report to Mr. Governor. Mr. Governor won in next year March an operation. It's always September, 6 months. Yeah.
That's why I asked you
Within
this for
6 months. 6 months and 12 months.
Well, I think it's, you will have to do that.
Yeah.
Yes, let's decide. Let's decide today.
We're starting in the main of the class.
Yeah, we already have the road. We will make, plan is like from our national monument to Block M. Also from the All City, Kota Tua to Mosque, Istiqlal, and Juanda. And that is for the Kuningan, Menteng Park. And we cross by to our Casablanca. And that is from our Brundan High, which is in the center. We go to Tanah Abang. So we will have a 4 route on the free of charge bus. We will put the RP in the area, and we also provide the free of charge bus. So this is a solution. If we could not pay, we use our free bus. The same with motorcycle. Maybe we could put the motorcycle use this also. We will say motorcycle couldn't get in this road. We give you free of charge bus.
So I will give this message to Estonia for the double bus.
I think maybe when we put this ERP around the southern area, when we get in the city, maybe we could get this money to take the whole city and have a free of charge service bus. The whole city. Why not? We're not talking about the getting money, we're just talking about the system transportation.
I also would like to point out that there is no such thing as a more modern system. There are 2 different systems. One is good for trucks on big areas, and the other one is good for compact areas, cities.
We need compact area first.
We have a compact area.
We need compact area first.
And you see from the figures that the GPS system is a very expensive system, and it's not good for cities. So I mean, it's from our internal discussions when we talk to customers, it's a very easy decision to go for the SRC. It's cheap, it works, it's proven.
So that's really good. So,
Maybe we want to prepare the time frame from the governor to finish it. What is your program? What is your application and the way to finish it?
Well, what you would do is you would deploy enough gantries. It will not be fully deployed by end of March. Enough gantries to charge people and say the system is turned on. If you travel on this road, you will be charged. I think it's a daily fee that has been discussed. Yeah. So then that you can deploy. But it will, and then during the coming months after that, you will deploy the full system. So maybe you only get 80% of the details when you're starting, but after 2 months, you have 100% planning.
Itu kita bisa menjadikan dulu. Kemudian ada bus gratis, ini sampai dikerjakan. Itu put receive for apa namanya? Kota udah. Dan ini nanti juga
license plate.
yeah, license plate. Maybe this before this fully operate, we use this for the system.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The system will
Ya,
be
ini kan dari Monas sampai sepanjang kota tua sampai ke Blok M itu. Jadi jalur satu ya busway.
Ya.
Jadi ya kita punya koridor satu. We have busway, the corridor first from Blok M until Old City. That's why this main road we want to put this first. Nanti kalau kita dengan jalur koridor satu aja dulu kita beresin. Jadi setelah itu ada Transjakarta yang kita tambah banyak, jalur kirinya dan bus gratis yang tingkat. Jadi itu fair Pak. Anda kan tidak mau bayar IRP, ya silakan naik bus, parkir di ujung.
I want to talk about your experience in Rekam. The road is free for all people, and at the time we have to pay. What is the first impact?
Offensive.
No, I think we can both experience from South Africa. South Africa is relatively poor country. They have very bad public transport. They built a completely new road network financed by ERP. Our experience there was that there was no political will. There needs to be political will, as the first I think you have the political will.
That's clear.
You need to have a strong message to the people, and you need to communicate that from 6 months before. So you basically now saying we're implementing this, but we're also giving you the benefit of free buses. It's
We take this money from the rich one to offer you a free starter bus.
Yeah.
I think it's fair enough.
Yeah.
How to administer the justice.
Because that's
Yeah, we administer the justice.
Yes.
But then the people,
And that's why we have to say that this.
80% of the people will be happy. 20%, of course, will not be happy, but it's always like that. But the important is to
Even God, not every human happy. We just need 50% plus one to Even to be a president, you just need 50% plus one. That's enough. You don't need to take 100%.
I think it's Stockholm, the lessons learned from Stockholm. They bought 1,500 buses. They started on day one, saying, we are building a better Stockholm, we're giving you free public transport, or not free, but better public transport. So you will transport easier by bus than by your own car. And it was accepted.
Itu yang mesin parkir nggak Swedia, mesin parkir itu. You're from Sweden. Parkir mesin.
Parking machine. And it was
Kali.
Yes.
We want to apply this
Okay, but which company?
from 19. They already come. They already come. They already
They're
have.
already here, yes. Okay.
Also, they already have a local company here.
Yeah.
We want to apply in Sabah, Kelangjutan. So it's 15 million. We will put the CCTV.
Yeah, so parking
And it's
machine.
GPS parking machine. You can control where they are.
So parking machine, Kapsch, ERP, and Scania buses.
Because Sweden has the best ambassador. This look like a CEO. CEO from the Sweden company.
And we had very
cari seperti apa, fee-nya seperti apa. Kita tentukannya kualifikasi seperti apa gitu. Ya, kita mesti tulis, kita tidak mau GPS, tidak mau yang dari stasi gitu. Ya, semua mesti jelas. BPKD harus rumuskan ini. Jadi kita sebetulnya kita udah mulai bikin di Swedia sudah ada tolnya yang kita gabungkan ini.
Well, we are very glad for having had this possibility to present this to the best governor and best vice governor in this country. The best in the world solution, ERP, is your Kapsch, and the latest design, the latest technology will come to you. And I think timing is very important for, especially for you, but of course for us as well.
I think at the end of this
So
month,
we have to be
already make a decision enrolling the qualification at the end of this month.
Yes. And
Now you
anything.
have to contact them. Sudah punya kontak.
Yeah, and yes, yes. Any more questions from our side? But then, Honorable Vice Governor, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Congratulations to all of you for being here. Very impressive.
Nice.
Try to make you happy.
The first
The problem is the mayor want to offer because they want to use the police, because they want to use the e-call. They want to compromise the government.
Yes, that's excellent. Thank you so much again. Thank you very, very much. Okay.
That was okay.